Can I come in? Come on in, Mr. Fire. The door is open for you. Thank you. You always make me feel so warm and welcome. This spring is supposed to be adjusted so the door closes. These springs are supposed to be adjusted so the door closes on its own accord. You shouldn't be able to leave the door open like that. I get it. It's a nuisance. You're bringing the groceries in. The door's always closing. It can be a bother to you. I understand that. A lot of people adjust them out. I understand that too. These springs are here for a reason. Most of the things we care about are on this side of the door. You might have some nice things out here, but our family and loved ones and pets and friends and all of our documentation and our income taxes and our business and our, collectibles and art and, all the things we care most about, passports, income tax returns, investments, medical records, those are all on this side of the door. We want to isolate, we want to compartmentalize the living space from the garage space. That's what we want to do. We want it so that if there are, statistically more fires are in the kitchen, but there's not a lot we can do about that. The second most common place for fires is in the garage. And we can do something about that. So that's why that spring is there. But that's not why we're here. It's not why we're here today. We're here for the garage overhead door. It's a metal panel door. Alright, and it's got a vinyl insulated backing on it. That's kind of nice. And we come over here. This control button is supposed not to be farther from the threshold than 5 feet, so little hands can't get up in here. So this control button is just a little bit low. There's a warning sticker on the notice, a warning notice right here. See a nice little warning notice with instructions how you can squash a kid if you want to. That's all right. That warning notice is a good thing. We have optic sensors over here. These are good things, but you know what's not good about these is they're higher from the ground than 6 inches. They're not supposed to be any farther from the driveway and the garage floor than 6 inches. They're too high. So a cat or a kid or something could get underneath there. They're not supposed to be that. It's not supposed to be that way. Over here we have warning notices on the first panels. On the first panel. Okay, on both sides of the first panel. Those are spring tension notices. Now see this notice over here that we're supposed to have, and we're glad we have it? Okay, well we're supposed to have a similar notice, if not identical, right here. That's where we're supposed to have it. Inside the door we don't have one of those notices. Coming on along here, some of this is kind of warped a little bit. That's an aesthetic issue. Why is yours warped? Oh, wait a minute. I get carried away. A similar notice, safety instructions. These are fine. We've got safety instructions. I'm going to have to walk that back. So far, the only thing I'm finding is that the optic sensors, the optic sensors are higher from the ground than 6 inches. This is the manual door lock, and it's been decommissioned. That's a good thing. It's been turned sideways. As long as we're using the door opener, all right, which has an emergency release handle, which is good. As long as we're using that, then this should be decommissioned so that don't loosen it up and turn it around and lock it and think you're making your house safer, because you're going to forget about it. It's going to be locked. Somebody's going to push the button or use the remote control, and it's going to bend your door all up. So we don't want to do that. So that's been decommissioned like it should be. Now what I'm not noticing inside of this door is a pull handle. If you do lose power, you do need to move the door, you do use the emergency release, you need to have a handle so you can grab it and pull it up. If it's coming down and it's squashing something because these didn't do their job and you had to use an emergency release, you pull that, it leaves the pressure off, but you got to get the door off. You can pull it there and grab it there, you get your fingers underneath there, I get all that. But you're supposed to have a handle. Moving on along, this is our courtesy light. This receptacle outlet up here is GFCI protected. I know it is because I use this GFCI over here. I put it in a test. And the light goes out on the button. So this will not work. I didn't even try it. It's not going to work. Because the button's tripped. Okay, we reset the button here. We're resetters. Comes back on. You know what didn't come on? The courtesy light didn't come on. I don't think this courtesy light's going to work. Now, in my inspection agreement that my dear client signed, and my inspection agreement that's posted on my website, and then I'm going to say this in the report too. It's going to be baked into the report. But I've made a business decision to not do a block test. I have instructions on how to do a block test on the safety reverse. If the builder would like to demonstrate that to you, I think that'd be fine. There's instructions. In fact, the instructions that come with this will tell you how to do a block test too, or most of them do. But if it doesn't, if the instructions aren't, if the block test instructions aren't in this, I've included in my report, the proper way to do a block test. But I made a business decision to do no harm. If this fails, I do not want to bend up the door. So I only test it with the optic sensor. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to come over here to this switch that's too low. And the little hands are going to come up here and they're going to touch it. And then the cat's going to get scared and it's going to run out. We're going to cross the beam with my big old flat foot. And it goes into safety reverse. Oh, there's the courtesy light. It's working. How about that? It just didn't do it when I reset the... Okay. Do it again. So we know the safety reverse works. We just do not know how the sensitivity's been adjusted. So what did we learn today? What did we learn? We learned that the optic sensors are too high. We learned that we do not have a pull handle. Really? Is that it? Optic sensor too high. We don't have a pull handle. Courtesy light's working. Handle done. All right. Well, that's good. That's pretty good. Switch is too low. Optic sensors are too high. Do not have a pull handle.